help support my channel. I have merch with terrible dinosaur puns on it, and I also have a Patreon where I have giveaways every 4 months. Hey everyone, and today I'm going to be taking my very first look at the Amber Collection's Dilophosaurus. This is the posable guy. You might remember the raptor I reviewed. So I'll be comparing them together. So I have been eagerly waiting for this guy to come out. I was actually kind of worried that it was going to be the same problems I had when I bought the posable raptor, because I actually had to have a friend in America to be able to buy this guy, so I didn't have to pay an extravagant amount for him just to get him here in Australia. But alas, luckily this time there was a seller on eBay that seemed to sell him at a reasonable price. Yes, the price was still higher than what you would have done if you went to Hot Topic in America, but it wasn't $100 more than what it was selling in store for. So that was nice. So I got lucky this time. So let's have a look at the box. So it's the same as the Raptors box, except obviously it has Dilophosaurus written on it, duh. But the back has this beautiful Dilophosaurus picture and a quick blurb about him. The rest is the Smexy barcode that we all know, and just some general pictures of the box. That's enough about the box. Let's get him out, shall we? Okay, so there's quite a number more things that come with the Dilophosaur than came with the posable raptor. So start off, this e-stock sign, which is very well known from the movie, is pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed that the sign even spins. Like, that's epic. I love that little extra added feature. They didn't have to make it so it spun, but the fact that it does is pretty cool. You come with the frill down add-on part, which is like a rubbery kind of consistency. You have, of course, the spitting venom, which is also a bit of a rubbery consistency, and also transparent, which is a really cool touch. Although I believe in the film, if memory serves me correct, the spit is actually like a deep, thick purple that wasn't transparent at all, so not quite film accurate with this one. Then we got some mud, which I'm presuming that this is what the sign goes in. I hope I'm getting this the right way. Whoop, yes. So yes, that's for the sign. Yay! Okay, so let's move that over there. So then we also, of course, we've got the amber base, which I'm pretty sure if I release my raptor from its base, is the exact same shape. Yeah, so they're the exact same bases, which isn't a bad thing. Like, they didn't need to make the bases unique. Just reusing the same base from the raptor. Which I forgot to get the little clear clip out of the case. There you go. So of course that's a little clear clip that holds the Dilophosaur up in its little pose. So I might just clip that in now because I remember it being a little tough. No, that was easier this time. Nope, it didn't go in properly, that's why it was easier. Okay, there we go. Okay, enough about that. Let's actually look at the piece we're all here to see. So the posable Dilophosaur. So I haven't tested its joints yet or anything, but it does have the same rubbery posable tail that the raptor does. So that's pretty cool. It actually feels, hang on, I'll get the raptor here. Yeah, the texture is different. This one actually feels like rubbery, and it kind of has a, not stickiness, but a rubbery sort of feel. Whereas this one has like a plastic feel, but it's still that rubbery feel. So I'm wondering if the paint finish on the raptor is different this time around, because that actually feels vastly different. Not a bad thing, it's not points down or anything, it's just it feels like it's been made completely different. Now as for the joints, we got good ankle movement, we got hip movement. Do we spend out? Yeah, we spend out a little bit, splay out a little bit with the hips. Not loving the belly paint job here, because we've got a bit of paint sort of cracking off here. And also I can see that they haven't sealed the paint around the arm very well here. I haven't moved these joints except for just then as I noticed the paint, and it's already chipping off around the joints. That tells me that this hasn't been sealed very well around the joints, and that this may have chipping issues later on. Whereas if you have a look at the posable raptor, this is all just the colour of the plastic, so there's not going to be any paint chipping issues with this later on down the road. So I think they may have chosen the wrong paint to use on this, or they just didn't seal it well enough. Because it's already chipping off even in areas that don't rub. In saying that though, the tail doesn't look like it's having any issue of holding onto its paint. That's a little sad. Thankfully it's underneath. I'm also noticing that the feet are a vastly different colour to the legs. So it's a little annoying. So it kind of makes me want to repaint this guy myself, since the paint job on this guy is not quite there compared to the raptor. Although in saying that, the raptor's paint job isn't epic proportions, it's a very simple paint job. It's just done more effectively on the raptor. I suppose the Dilophosaurus has a lot more colours and it's going to take them a lot more time to actually be able to do, so I suppose that's why they've spent the same amount of time on the raptor, but just all the extra colours on the Dilophosaurus meant that they didn't properly match colour tones or something. I don't know. Anyway, movement onto the posability of the arms. So we have a lot smaller joints here on the arms, but we seem to have pretty good posability throughout, although because the paint's chipping on the belly, I'm worried that the paint's eventually going to chip off on the arms as well, which is a little sad. Moving on to the neck, I'm worried about the same chipping happening because there is a layer of paint here that is not the plastic, this is painted on. So I'm worried over time this will chip off and scrape off. It's not scraping as of yet, although I can feel the plastic scraping on the back, so a little concerning that it will chip off eventually. I have a feeling just because the paint job's pretty average on this guy that I'm going to repaint him myself to be the actual proper Dilophosaurus colours, and I'll seal him up properly with proper sealants to protect the joints and stuff. But overall, if we're going off just the model cast so far, the model itself is beautiful. Like, this posability is divine. Just a little let down with the paint job. Now the head. So of course we've got our opening and shutting jaw. Ooh. See. I'll put a photo up in the corner. I had this issue with one of my raptors because I actually got two Amber Collection raptors because I ended up wanting to customize one. And one of them had a jaw that was separated like this, so it wasn't glued on properly. So as you can see, this one's has the same issue. So I know from my experience with the raptor that this won't be all of them, but sadly it is mine. Thankfully though, I customize my stuff so I can fix this jaw, but it's frustrating. It's also annoying that this jaw is actually rubber, so it's got a bit of a bend to it, which means I'm going to have to use a special clay on it, whereas this guy's jaw is plastic, so I could use my normal customizing clay on it. That's annoying. Both sides of the jaw are actually, I don't know whether you can actually see, I'll try and get the camera to focus, but there you can actually see the little pin inside the jaw and everything, so this jaw is actually not even properly attached. I can actually fully separate that. That's a massive letdown. Oh dear, buddy. So I'm probably gonna have to rip this jaw off completely to try and repair that. That's actually disappointing. Okay, the head sculpt itself, apart from that really shocking bottom jaw separation, I'm hoping I just got really unlucky with my jaw, because that's really bad for a collector. That's really bad. Okay, so the head, apart from that, is pretty good sculpt actually. The paint job, it's about the same level as the posable raptor. I could definitely upgrade the paint job myself, which I'll be definitely doing now that I know the jaw's so faulty. Sorry, I keep coming back to the jaw, but that's really let me down. That's really let me down. Jeez. And the fact that it's already so loose that I can separate it that much means I'll be able to get the jaw off and fix it, but I shouldn't have to when it's such a high-priced item. But anyway, now I wonder how I get this frill off, because the frill is actually beautifully sculpted and quite nicely painted too. Don't know whether I'll be repainting the frill because that's beautiful. That's really nicely done. I might repaint the back a bit so it has a bit more texture to it, but of course it's a rubbery sort of frill, which is quite nice. Now, I'm assuming I pop off the head to get the frill off. Is that how this works? Yes, that looks like what that does. Yep, so it's a nice little ball joint for the frill, and you pop it off like that. So that actually shows the back of the jaw a bit more and how much separation is actually happening in the head. That's such a letdown. Don't like that. Okay. So of course if you want to change for the frill that's down, of course you can do that. But I like my frill out. And then of course we just slip it back in. Oop. Butterfingers here. Sorry, my left arm's still healing from surgery, so it's a bit fidgety and twitchy at the moment, and not much strength in it. Ooh. So that's a little finicky to get in. So you kind of have to... Okay. So then the frill... So you slip the frill down the neck, put the head on, and then you slip the frill forward to hide that join. Okay, let's see. Try to ignore the broken jaw and add this spit. So yeah, if the jaw wasn't so broken, that would look pretty cool. So let's go size comparison. So I'll lay this guy flat to the camera. We'll bring in the raptor. Oop, I've moved my reviewing board. So height-wise, I think they're pretty consistent with the movie. I mean, the raptors were pretty tall, and this guy was supposed to be a baby Dilophosaurus. So yeah, they're pretty consistent with the height size. I can be pretty happy with that. Then of course when you get the full setup going and you get their arms how you want it to be. Yeah. Like all ball joints, you have to play with them for a bit until you figure them out. But yeah. Pretty happy overall. I'm a little annoyed with the jaw because now that it's happened twice to me, I'm thinking it's more consistently happening than what I initially assumed. So 2 out of 3 of my amber collections have had the faulty jaws. So that's not a good ratio so far. I'm pretty let down about that. I'm just lucky that I'm able to fix it. But if there is more amber collections released, I don't know. I'll probably still get them just because I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan and there is a lot of potential to be able to customize these posable dinosaurs. But I don't know, I'm a little let down. That jaw is really annoying, and the fact that the paint is already chipping off. The model itself, if you're willing to paint these models up yourself, the models as a base are beautiful. Just the jaw needs fixing. Sorry, I keep bringing up the jaw. I'm just so frustrated with that jaw. It's an otherwise beautiful, stunning model that just needs a little touch-up work with the paint and it would be beautiful. But anyway, we still have an amazing e-stock sign with a spinny arrow, which is really cool. So yeah, that's my review of the Dilophosaurus. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!